See, one common mistake that what I found yesterday in your coding part, like whomsoever has done, no, many of you are doing lot of spelling mistake. That is the first thing. After spelling mistake, second type of thing was you are missing, you are skipping some lines. Then third problem was like you have created a tuple and you forgot to put comma after a single value. So these are very common mistakes. So, and most important thing is first only type these two lines and then execute and check whether everything is working properly or not. Otherwise, what you are doing, you are typing complete program, then you are checking that, okay, in the first line only you are getting error. Better is to check after small tasks that whether you are working it properly or not. Okay, now today we are going to discuss few more things in this. The very first thing is see some logics basically. Okay, because when you are going to make project, no, so that time some logics will be required. For example, you can see over here that when I have created this insert function, again not compulsory, but later on in the when you are going to make project, that time it will be the demand of that project that generally your IDs must be generated automatically. What is the meaning of automatic generation? Means see actually what we are doing here, we are asking from the user. Now user don't know what was the last ID. Okay, so actually how it should be that it should generate automatically like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like this. So anyone, any idea how we can generate it automatically?
By using loop.
By?
Loop.
Now how we will use loop? Now the problem is maybe I am calling this insert function today. Maybe after 10 days I will call insert function then. Random we cannot use because we don't know randomly. Suppose if the same value has generated, actually it has to be in the sequence only. That is another thing. Just for suppose today I inserted 10 records. So tomorrow when I will switch on my system and I wanted to insert the next record, it must be 11th record. This is my requirement actually. So how you will come to know that yesterday I have inserted 10 record?
Ma'am, we save the last value.
Yes. From where?
And after the loop.
From where we will see the last value? Again, I'm repeating, we will not use random. The reason is maybe the value, maybe you will have the same value, fine. So what will be the answer? I got one answer that we will get the last value. From where we will get the last value? For example, right now I don't know what is the last value in my table. How I will come to know what is the last value?
Ma'am, by using count function.
Chalo, fine, correct. But now my question is by mistake, not by mistake, due to some reason I have deleted, suppose I am having 10 records and due to some reason I have deleted fifth record. So if I will use count function, there will be 9 values. So means that logic will also not work. But you are very close to the answer. Now one answer is store the last value after program end. Where you will store the last value? That is another question.
In a list.
How you can store in a list? In a list you cannot store anything in the permanent basis.
create another table with the date and time.
Anji, create.
So we can create another table with the last value and its date and time as default.
Then why you are creating another table? Better is to get it from your own table. No? Ultimately, what you are doing, you are storing the last value in the table. Now the question is how you will come to know that what is the last value within your table only instead of creating another table. Fine. So we will check this. Suppose, for example, first we will check that what is the last value in my table. Display all. First thing is like this. See, we know second is the last value. Fine. So ultimately what I need this particular value and plus 1 will be my next value. This is what you have to understand. So last time I'm asking anyone any answer, how I will get to know what is the last value in my table. No doubt everything is stored sequentially in the table. Sorry.
The maximum sequence number.
What? Repeat again.
The maximum sequence number.
Yes, maximum sequence number. Now how to get maximum?
Use max function.
Exactly. We are going to have, we are going to get the max, use the max function to get the maximum value. So first we are going to get the maximum value. Then after getting the maximum value, we are going to add 1 and then that will be my new value. So it means, now see, ultimately we want replacement of this, fine. So for this, what you are going to do? These all are basically some tips that will be helpful for you in your project. So the very first thing is we have to get the maximum value. So again, I will be writing SQL statement that is select maximum of SID from sports. So ultimately I will get 2. Fine. So first I need to execute my query. So my cursor dot execute. And see, one new thing also I will explain you over here. My cursor dot execute. And then over here, SQL query only. So it is going to execute and it will be getting the maximum of SID. I need to fetch one record. We have already discussed, for that we have fetch one record. So my result is equal to my cursor dot fetch one. So what this function will do, it will fetch one record. First we will check whether I'm getting the correct answer or not. So print. See, again I will be getting it in the form of tuple. So I'm printing my result completely. Okay. And remaining all these I'm making as a comment. The reason is because I just don't want right now to execute or to give all these information. So when I will run this, we have to cross check whether this is working perfectly or not. Insertion. So see, it is working perfectly. It is giving me 2, but this is giving me in the form of tuple. So I don't want in the form of a tuple. If I'll write my result of 0, so no doubt it will be my answer. Still there will be so many problems, but we are going to discuss all those problems one by one. So if I'm going to write 1, you can see it is showing me 2. So ultimately it is getting the last record, last value. What I wanted to add 1 with this. So now what I can do, my result of 0 plus 1, if I will be doing, then it will give me the answer. Okay, this is what I want. You can cross check that now it will give me 3rd as an answer. So this is what I wanted to insert. So I will not ask SID from the user. Instead of that, I'm going to now see, instead of asking this, I'm directly writing that it is equal to this. Okay. And then I will print S so as to check whether it is working properly or not. Still there will be some problem. Print the value of S. Now see, here it will work 101% perfectly. So my value of SID is 3. This is what I want. Now, suppose I have deleted all the values. Deleted all the value means second choice, deleted first, then again I'm giving second choice and deleted second also. Now see, everything is deleted. Now if I'll call this insertion function, again I'll get error message. Okay, error. The reason is, first of all, see, everybody must be clear how to understand the error. Always check, see, when you will be getting error, no? So see, it is showing in this function. In this function, this line, you are getting the error. And what is the error? That this is your error. Error is that we are actually, what we were doing, we were adding the result we have got from that my result, and then with that +1. So it is saying that it is none type. Why it is saying none type? The reason is now my table is empty. Okay, so if my table is empty, as I said, now my table is empty. Now because it is empty, so the value of this will be none. Okay, or the value of your tuple is none. If you will print the value of your tuple, print my result. Now it is of none type. So see, this will be always your first case. If I will be calling my function, you can see that it is my null value. Okay, so therefore, it will be always your first case when you are going to create your empty table, when you will be having empty table. So initially there will be no value. So my result will fetch none in that particular case. So therefore, now you are going to check if your value of my result is none, it means it is your first record. Otherwise, our complete program was working perfectly. So we are going to check something like this. If my result is equal to none, in that case, my S is equal to not 0, 1, else. Else we have no problem. In that particular case, we are going to have something like this. Okay, now I will check this also. We are printing S outside so that we will come to know that whether it is working properly or not. So you can see over here, enter choice 1 to insert in the table. Again, it is, sorry, that 0th record I have to check. So my result of 0. Okay, then I will run this. First, and now you can see, if my table is empty, in that particular case, it is generating 1. And otherwise, it was generating whatever was the last value. So now this is working perfectly. See, this is how we have to check. Now, because it is working perfectly, now remaining all the things I can uncomment. Okay, so now I will not print the value of S. See, now ultimately after these all statements, sorry, from here till here, after these all statements, what I have done, I have generated any value in a sequential manner. No doubt we have one function also, we have one clause also in MySQL, that is auto increment. But because it is not there in our syllabus, so therefore we are not discussing that. Whatever we are having in our syllabus, on the basis of that only we are discussing now. So ultimately from here till here, we have generated the value of SID. Then we are asking name, then quantity, then price. Then in the SQL query, we are writing all the information and then this. Okay, now if you will run your table, see, the very first thing is it is not asking SID, but it will be generated automatically. It is asking name, ball, 456. Then see, record inserted successfully. If I'll display all, you can see it is displaying with the 1 value automatically, right? So this is how, see, by mistake also I cannot do mistake of generating the values in a order or in a sequence. Plus later on, no doubt that I am going to make this as a primary key. So there will be no problem of making this as a primary key. And suppose if, Hanji.
Like if we are having 4 elements in this and we deleted the second one, then the series will be disturbed as 1, 3. If we are having 4 records with the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we deleted the second record. Then the sequence will be 1, 3, 4.
No problem. 1, 3, 4, 5 like this. Because
Yes, ma'am. So how we can automatically correct that?
Logically, what you have to understand that what we are saying is that second record has been deleted. That was unique row. So that has completely deleted. Now the third record is the record of your third value basically. Fine. Maybe in future you will be making foreign keys and all those. So you cannot change those values. Once we are saying for any particular column that it is a primary key, then we never used to change it. Still, if you wanted to change, suppose if it is a by mistake, then you can update that. Okay, then you can update that. But again, I will be suggesting you that not to update that. Because how many values you are going to update? For example, if I am having 100 records or thousands record, and I have deleted second or third record, so I'm not going to update all the remaining records, right?
We can just run a loop of for loop and just update +1.
You will be having features, so many features will be there, but again I'll suggest not to use that because logically it will not make sense. If you wanted to do, there will be so many options, but logically there is no sense of that. You take example something like this. For example, any student has taken TC and the number of that student was 23. So we will never allot that particular number to any other student. If any new students are coming, they will get new number. They will never get the old number of any student which has been deleted. Fine. Logically, not required. Still, if you want, then there are so many ways. That's it.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine. See, that was the first thing. Second thing is now we will work little bit with the display all function. Now for display all, first I will insert 1 or 2 more records so that we will make it more proper. Achha, even you can do so many things. For example, you wanted go through some extra libraries for getting the system time, system date from even in the Python. Okay, we have some libraries available in Python also. It's not like that in MySQL, from MySQL only you will fetch the system date or time. You can get it from the Python also. So, but for that you have to little bit go through the inbuilt libraries of Python. Okay, I'm inserting one more record to insert into table. Now see, it is not asking anything. Bad, then 45, 67, it has inserted, and one more I'm inserting, tennis, and then it is not visible to you, 56, 69. Okay, so we have inserted, we will just do display all. You will see this, the format of display all is actually not at all proper. For example, this 56 you see and this 45 you see, actually they must be in the table format, fine. So for that, what we need is, we are going to discuss or we are going to understand one function today, which is your display function. Okay, now how to use that display function. See, we know how we are going to get the values. Okay, so this only, and we know that this first value is ID, second value is my name, third value is my quantity, then fourth value is my price. So instead of this, what I can do over here, I'm just making little bit changes, that first in the double quote in the pair of braces, I'm going to write the value, 0th value, and then after that how many spaces I want. For example, I'm giving here 5 spaces. It means, now see what you have to understand, that my information must be, my 0th information must be displayed with the 5 spaces. Once this is done, I'm not writing anything, then again pair of braces. Now for the first value is your name. So for that I'm writing here 10 records. First I'll show you the output, then we will discuss if you have any problem. Then after this again pair of braces. Now for the next value, that is second value, that was your quantity. Quantity I'm saying again 5 spaces. Then after this, then I have third value. For the third value again column, it was price. So for the price I am saying again 10 spaces, 10 or let it be 8 spaces. Okay, the thing is what we are trying to do to write the information in a table format. So for that particular thing, now once we have done this, we have to close this, and after closing this, dot format is the name of a function, format. Okay, in this function, we are going to pass the values something like this: I of 0, I of 1, I of 2, I of 3, and I of 4, I of 3. Then my format function is closed, and then I need to close my print function. Okay, let me run this and we will check this. For this display all, you will see that little bit change was there. Anyone, any answer? What is the change that you have understood from here?
The serial number is printed with space.
Repeat again.
The serial number has been printed with starting from space.
Okay, fine. See, we will say something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As I said, 5 spaces. So total 5 spaces are given, and then one is means my information is written, because here only, if you will see, I have written 5. Then next time for next information, I said 10. So if you will start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 spaces are given for ball. After that, but now what you have to understand, that for different type of value, different type of indentations are there. That is, for the number, it is your right indentation by default, and for string type of information, it is by default left indentation. Then we have given for the next value 5 spaces. So you can see now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or else I'll show you something like this: 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So see, total 5 spaces, and then my 4 value has been displayed, and last is 8 spaces to display this. So you can start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total 8 spaces, and then my third value has been, third value means value at the third position of the tuple has been shown to you. So this is the first thing. Your you can specify over here. You can specify over here. This is the from the tuple index number you are writing. Sorry, not from the tuple. Actually, here from here you are indicating. If you have written 0, 0 means first value. If you have written 1, it means this value. If you have written here 2, means this particular value, and for 3 means this particular value. Then total number of spaces we have written over here. Okay, and then next we were last one we were having was your alignment. So for number by default it is left, sorry, right, and for string it was, for numbers right, and for string it was left. Now we are going to make few more changes. Okay, for example, I'm writing this one. This is the symbol of your this is greater than symbol. If I'm making this change, then we will check this, that what will happen. Again, I'm going to click for the display all. Enter choice, display all. Now you can see the difference. This one and this one. What is the difference?
Ma'am, first it has given from left. Now it is from right.
नहीं, उल्टा बोल रहे हो. First it was right, है ना? First it was right align, and now it is left align. See, this is actually very good thing, that when you wanted to format your output, no, in the table format, that time you will need. So see, if we are using, we have understood the default alignments. Now if we are going to use everywhere this particular symbol, this is your less than symbol, this is for left alignment. Think like this: left, less means left. Okay, less than alignment is for left alignment. So now if I'm going to write everywhere like this, now every information will be left aligned. We will cross check that also. You can see every information is left aligned now. You can see over here 5, then it is 10, then it is, then it is again 5, and then it is 8. You can see up to that much gap is given. Okay, if you wanted to cross check, you can write here HELLO. If you are writing any constant string or constant information, will be displayed over there. Fourth choice, then you can see after 8 space only it is showing me like this. Okay, now see when we are going to use this. Chalo, okay, I have not written in a proper manner, but what we can do, for example, I am taking this as a left alignment, and then because it was price, so here I can say I can write here rupees. Now if I will run this, see, it is up to you now that how you wanted to use these functions and all. Okay, you can see now it is showing in a very proper manner that how many rupees it is. Okay, for example, here after this I wanted to write PP, matlab per piece, something like that. So if any unit also I wanted to write like this, I can write the units also. Anyone, any doubt? Then what you have to understand, most important thing is left alignment, right alignment. We have discussed one more thing. We will try one thing today, that is if I'm going to use caret symbol. I hope you all know this is your caret symbol. Okay, so if I'm going to use this, see what has happened.
Center aligned.
Very good. This is center alignment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So remember, it is caret symbol. So if you wanted to align all these centrally, then you can use this caret symbol. So these, see, we have so many other, this is called as formatting types. So we have so many formatting types. Now it is up to you that how many formatting types you wanted to use. Generally, we use these 3 only. Okay, either left align, right align, or center alignment. Remaining is your choice that how much you wanted to use. Anyone, any doubt? Or should I wind up?
Ma'am?
Anji?
Ma'am, I need to confirm it that left align means the space will be starting from the left side.
Left alignment means value will be at the left side.
With the spaces.
Along with the spaces. जैसे कि wait. Just suppose I wanted to display HELLO. Hello, I wanted to display, and for that I have given suppose 10 spaces and I said it is left aligned. Okay, suppose. So what is the meaning of this? That you draw 10 lines first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Matlab total 10 spaces. This is done. Now value must be displayed from the left side. So HELLO. Okay, this is what called as left alignment. If it is right alignment, so again 10 spaces will be there. I'm not writing counting 10, but value will be something like this. HELLO. This is your right alignment. Clear? Right and left?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then I'm winding up today. All of you have to do practice of automatic generation and this format function. This is very important when you are going to make your projects. Okay, then good day all of you.